disappointed and happy for Chris Collins. I mean that. Did a hell of a job rearranging his guys. I thought it was Young's never played that many minutes in his life, and he's probably one of the tougher kids on their team. And Nicholson has probably career highs, and Roper. And it was a perfect case of guys that probably wanted to be here, a couple of them. Just played harder and better. There's a couple of you guys I talk to once in a while, and this is no surprise. We've been living on borrowed time. There's no surprise to this. We were playing very well until we started to think we're an offensive team. In that first half, we shot, at one time we were shooting 60%. I think at halftime break, we shot 50% for the first half. And I had to remind Christie and Gabe Brown that defense still wins championships and wins big games and wins all games. And I've been telling you guys we've been struggling defensively, and it's just because we're not playing as hard. I've told a couple of you that the turnovers are going to get us, and that's my job to fix, so I'll blame nobody but me. But that game was not lost at the end. It was not lost in the middle. It was sort of lost at the beginning with the start, with a couple of players just walking around. And then, but in my mind, it's been lost since Christmas. You know, it was just, we got a good team. We got good guys. But I think they're reading their press clippings and thinking they're better than they are and thinking they're going to reinvent the way to win. And my staff and I did not do a very good job of making sure that didn't happen. So whatever questions you got, I'll answer them.
Tom, here in the back, what did you see in this matchup down the stretch that made you favor Joey Hauser on the floor over Julius Marble with the way he had played today?
I don't know. We were having Julius Marble played a lot, played the most. Down the stretch, he got tired, and I think DJ took him out. But, you know, I don't know. I thought I thought Julius Marble played a lot. In fact, in the second half, you know, we didn't give him as much a chance the first half because we played Marcus. But I don't know. It's a good question. I'll have to look at that. I don't know. But it wasn't. It was probably more to get some offensive punch because we couldn't score the ball. But give Julius credit. He did a hell of a job. I thought he played pretty well. I thought Malik played pretty well. And believe it or not, I thought Tyson played pretty well. He had a little more spunk to him, and that was good. But we had a lot of guys that didn't play well, and we had a lot of coaches that didn't coach well. So I don't know. Maybe I should have put myself in the portal at the end of that game, and instead of putting. I thought you were going to ask me why I didn't play Marcus at the end, but I don't know. You know, I talked to DJ about that, and let's figure it out.
Tom, to say another team played harder and to give up the offensive rebounds that you did, how does that make you feel?
About as poor as I've felt since I've taken this job. I mean, that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. And but I give Chris a lot of credit. I mean, I just think he had some guys. Some of those guys never play. Nicholson never plays. You know, I think his mother's from here. Give him credit. And Roper didn't play the last time. And, you know, sometimes, as I say, a steady diet without Nance is not good, but that one-time game, sometimes people rise up. But we did get beat in all the effort-related things, and maybe it's good that some of our young guys, you know, that's what Jaden Akins has been doing. That's what Max Christie's been doing. And tonight they found out what it's like when other guys are hungry too. So, again, I just keep reiterating, there's no surprise to me at all, none.
I was going to ask you about the rebounds, but I'll go to the Marcus question. He seems like he's still engaged there. He's still a part of things. You obviously went to him at the end, but a guy who was really on a crescendo most of the season seems to not be right now. What's gone on with him the last couple of games?
I don't know. You should ask him. I don't really have a good answer. You should ask DJ. That's his position coach, and that's, I've kind of left that alone a little bit because I'm just, it frustrates me when a guy walks up and down the floor. It frustrates me. And, I'm just going to say that they made the choices, and I seconded that. At the end, we put him in because of the free throw situation. And even at the very end, the play wasn't designed to be that. He was supposed to go over the top of it. But I don't know. That's been an enigma for me. There's been a couple of things that have been a little bit of an enigma, and that's probably why I don't feel we're as good as we could be. I still think we have a very high ceiling. I do think we can get better. I thought we had some guys that, Max struggled today. He's been playing really, 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 really well. But if you look at since Christmas, High Point, we didn't guard anybody. Over there, we didn't guard very well. Minnesota, we didn't guard very well. We didn't rebound very well. We have not done the things that stands for Michigan State basketball. Effort-related things, 17 offensive boards. It's, I don't know if that ever happened in my career. So, but I have been softer on this team, and so I take the blame for that. I really do.
Tom, I think this is the first time that Northwestern has out-rebounded Michigan State twice in 1 year. I don't think I've ever asked you this question before, but how do you get your guys to play harder?
Well, first of all, Northwestern, to be very blunt and honest with you, is big. They're very athletic on the wings, and they are good. That's not a bad team. You can say, well, without their guy, but then all of a sudden they play Young, who might be their toughest big guy, if you ask me. How can you get your guys to play harder? Well, you got to practice harder, and that falls on me. So you're right. You haven't asked that many times in 27 frickin' years. But sometimes, what a coach says when everybody's reading what everybody else says or what their families say, it doesn't hit home. I told them 2 weeks ago, I'm okay to lose. When Roy Williams came here, I said, it's no big deal, guys. I can lose a game. See that guy? I ain't ever touching his record. See, I ain't catching him. The game, I don't care about. I care about getting better and where are we at the end of the year. And so if this was going to take to get better at the end of the year, then I'm glad we lost. Whoever thought I'd say that. But I'm not saying that out of frustration. I'm saying there's a 5-game stretch here where we haven't played Michigan State basketball. Mike Garland pulled me in his office right around Christmas, and he said, watch this tape. And he had made a little tape of our Connecticut game. And you'd swear we were two different teams and how hard we played. So, they've got it in them because they've done it before. But we have to do a better job as a staff. My whole staff, me and my staff, have to do a better job on a day-to-day basis, holding people accountable to playing at the level that we need to play at. I thought Tyson Walker said it pretty well in the locker room, early in the year. Him and I had it out about the levels of basketball. You can do certain things at certain levels. And tonight he said to me, there's a different level. You don't get away with as much. You can't make the same mistakes. You can't do the same things. And so, I don't know. It was hard, but I said it's good to learn a lesson and still win. It was evident it wasn't good to learn a lesson and still win because I don't think we learned a lesson. Whether we will now or not, we'll find out. We got 5 days of hell in front of us, so we'll find out. But disappointed? Very. Surprised? Not really.
I know the turnovers have been an issue, but I think it's 29 offensive boards the last 2 games that you guys have given up. What is it structurally, do you think, that may be causing that, or is it just a want-to from some of the guys to prevent those?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we haven't changed the system any. We haven't, you know, again, those turnovers, you know, people kept saying on the bench, you know, it's not because of the break. I mean, they're just guys trying to do too much and maybe not being held accountable enough. So maybe when some guys sit like they did and you lose, maybe guys will listen. I don't know. But I can take blame for a lot of things, and I will. But effort-related stats, I don't get to play. Now that one, I think players have to take some responsibility for, and that's what I plan on telling them or showing them. Other than that, it is my job to get them ready, and it was evident, as Malik said in the locker room, we weren't ready to play. So that's my job.
This might be repetitive on that, but just how much turnovers, the offensive rebounds being allowed, how much do you count that toward affecting the defense? Like, how much is the residual?
Oh, there's no question that when you defend really well and then all of a sudden they get the rebound, it's a downer. When you turn the ball over like we do, I mean, great plays, pressing teams, you can swallow that you're going to turn the ball over some. I don't know. You tell me. You guys probably watch it closer than I did. I closed my eyes a few times, but I give them a lot of credit. I think he did a hell of a job, but they don't press. They don't jump into lanes. They don't. I mean, they were some of the most bizarre turnovers, and you've heard that. If I was a alum, if I was a media guy, I'd say you say the same thing every press conference. You know? I have, so I'll take the abuse for that. You're right, but it is demoralizing and depressing, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't lend to any momentum, you know. So I'd say that's a fair statement.
You talked about how the guys haven't really been in it since Christmas. Do you think a loss like this can spark that to get them back into it?
I don't know, you know. I mean, I think I got a good team. And but they're a good team when they're playing hard as hell. We're not the most talented team in America. I think they just wanted to start looking at different things. You know, maybe we'll become an offensive team. Offensive teams don't win a lot of games. I mean, I can tell you a few that were ranked in the top 10 and tried that, you know, whether it's three-point shooting, whether it's this, whether it's that. Those teams have taken some losses. The game hasn't changed, you know. Hasn't changed in 100 years. More threes, less post guys. And those are all, you know, different aspects of the game. But the game hasn't changed, you know. Football hasn't changed, you know. Got to block and tackle. Got to defend and rebound. That hasn't changed, and it won't change no matter what you do. The more threes somebody takes, the more long rebounds. There's actually more rebounds. Because nobody shoots as good from the threes. You shoot from the two, so there's more rebounds. It's your opportunity to get them. I mean, I thought a couple times we contested a shot. They missed the shot. It bounced right back. Their guy went in and got it. Our guy was leaving. You know, that's our fault. But that's been a problem that we've had, and we've showed them on film. And we just got to do a better job. We got to do a better job coaching it. Not playing, coaching.
Tom, you talked on Wednesday about how you felt that the team didn't really have a true leader at this point that can pull everybody together when things are going poorly. Did you feel that that lack kind of played a big role in today's loss?
Well, when I say we don't have a true leader, I mean, that's, you know, what we're used to here is some leaders like Mateen Cleaves, or, you know, Michigan State's used to Magic Johnson, Mateen Cleaves, Draymond Greens, Travis Walton, Denzel Valentine's, guys that, you know, I told you it was funny. We showed our team a tape of the Alabama thing. I think I talked to you guys about when the defensive back, who was player of the year, kind of went at that guy, like almost ripped his face mask off. And the next play, he made the play. I think we have cred mentality, you know, like street mentality. there's one thing to be a leader or a good guy. There's another thing to hold people accountable by saying, no, this is the way we're going to do it. And I don't think we have that. But I'll give Malik credit. He spoke up after the game, and I think Malik realizes that. And I thought, I thought Malik spoke up, and I thought Julius. I told you I'm a great body language reader. I'm reading his body language sitting there, and I thought he said, I get it, you were right, I see it. So those of you that I talked to in the media, I told you I was worried about we weren't playing as good, and for some reason we aren't defending and we're not rebounding. We've done that. We've done it actually against better teams. We played better against Baylor than we played in some of these games. We played. So I don't think it's that they don't have it, and I don't think it's that they don't know. I just think it's that they're not as focused in on that because maybe they think they can win it a different way, and you can't. So lesson learned. All lessons can't be learned by winning. I've heard that my whole life, that it's good that if you lose a game and you still have coaching points. If you lose a game, mommy and daddy are still hugging you, your girlfriend still wants to go to the movies with you, your buddies want to sit and watch TV with you. As long as you win the game, that's okay to everybody. And so maybe now we'll see. Put our backs against the wall. We got a rugged schedule coming up. We'll learn something about my team. I think the way it sounds, I'm putting down Northwestern. I'm actually building them up. I think they're a good team. I really like Young. I thought he did a great job. I think the difference in this team is Adish and Boo Booey are taking better shots. They took a couple, but it wasn't in critical times like it was over there, where I think sometimes people shoot you in, then they shoot you out. I thought those guys played very, very, very well. And I thought their role players played their roles to the T. And that was impressive. But I'm not down on my team thinking we're not any good. I just didn't think we played very good. And I don't think we practiced as good. And I think even my staff were just letting too much go in practice. And you don't get as much practice time when you get to this time of year. It's been strange. So we got a lot of work to do, but we're 14-3, and I've been beaten in the national championship year by Wright State. I've been here, done this before. I think you're concerned. I'll bet you if each one of you called me, you'd say the same thing I said. Yeah, that High Point game you didn't. Then that Northwestern game over there, then the Nebraska game you didn't. I mean, you could see it coming, and that's what it was, yeah. What's that?
5 times in a row.
Kind of, where we haven't played with the same, we're not out rebounding people like we were. But, our stats, we're leading the league, or one of the top 2 teams in field goal shooting. I think we're the top team in three-point shooting. Now, we are one of the top teams in three-point defending. I heard Matt Painter say something, he was upset with his team. I mean, gave up 90 points against Nicholls State. We're all running into the same thing, and I think he took care of that last night. And but if there's a guy that deserves to have a big win more than Chris Collins, I don't know him. They've had some bad luck. They've had some tough overtime games. They've played really well. His team did play hard. They got all the loose balls. They did things. They got experienced players. They did things that maybe they hadn't done there in the past. And if I had to lose to somebody, I feel like even though it was in people's minds a lower rung team, I'd rather lose to him.
Just kind of, you got about a week off between games, a little under that. I wonder if you've heard anything about the Michigan game yet in terms of rescheduling, if there's anything with that, or if you anticipate this being that, 6 days in between games.
Oh, we're not going to play them. They got games going. Yeah, they got games going. I mean, probably right now, we probably need some practice time. You know, we probably need some time to, but now that's up to the Big Ten office and KP and all the people. I mean, coaches don't have much say in that. But I'm sure there'll be nothing this week because they got games too. And I don't think they're moving a bunch of games to get in one game. But after that, you know, we've got a steady diet of Friday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday games. So we'll see what happens. So, hey, disappointing loss, but again, disappointing but not surprising. Tell those friendly editors that should be the headline.